passion, drive, persistence, resilience, love. All qualities that shape and define us. Join the Cyber Warrior as he helps shape your path. This is Walk With Me. Passion, drive, persistence, resilience, love. All qualities that shape and define us. Join the Cyber Warrior as he helps shape your path. This is Walk With Me. Welcome back to Walk With Me, a Cyber Warrior Studios production. I'm your host, the Cyber Warrior. Now, over the past few weeks, we have talked about all the things you can do to help better both your career and your personal life. From finding your why to goals, planning, and finally execution. But what happens when you have your why, you make your goals, and most definitely have your plan, but still you fail to execute? What are the reasons you can be mid-execution and yet still falter? Well, see, that is what we're going to talk about today. Mental blocks. When people think about mental blocks, they tend to think about writers. Why is this the case? Well, because we have made it well known that writers can have writer's block. The way I see it, though, is that we should normalize the fact that no matter what you do for a career, no matter where you are at in life, you can have mental blocks. To give some context, let me take you on a journey of my life in content creation, my career, and overall, how I've lived. When I retired from the Army in 2017 and I started my YouTube channel, I thought, hey, this will be a great way to make money. I have experience in cybersecurity. I have knowledge I can give to people. And overall, I felt it would be an awesome way to just give back to the people that are trying to make their own way in their career. What happened, though, was quite different. The very first video I created, which is now taken down, was just a rant about the hiring process in the career field I was in. You see, I was struggling to find employment at that time. Then after that, I was stuck. I didn't know where I wanted to take my content. I wasn't sure if it was news, which lasted very briefly. I thought maybe technical content. Well, that is still hit or miss to this day. What finally struck me, though, was my love of helping people by motivation and allowing others a platform where they can talk about whatever they wanted, and that is what spawned my very first long-running show and podcast, Security Happy Hour. Throughout the entire process, before I truly found what I loved, though, I had to deal, and still have to deal with, people not watching or listening. Some have said I gave horrible advice without any context as to what or why. So much has made me second-guess myself and my mission. The benefits to the people I have connected with both in and out of the military, though, are those that are helpful. I swear every episode so far I have mentioned Hacker Valley Media, but honestly, without them, I would quite possibly not be doing this. They have inspired me to keep going. They lift me up when I feel like I'm not making a difference, and most importantly, they have supported me every step of the way. Now that's the cyber community. What has been even better is with this podcast and with this show, I have been able to find others in the podcast community that support this show and have kept me going. Here's the thing, though. Even with all the support, all the people helping out there, you know what sucks? It is still that I get in my head. I still think that maybe I'm not doing something right. I think that people don't care or just don't want to hear from me. I am truly my own worst enemy. I stunt my growth and capabilities at every turn. How? Well, I'm constantly struggling to figure out the words to say to keep this podcast going. I know what I want to say. I know the message I want to get across, but I don't know how or what words to use. I have always been better talking in person. I have always been better at keeping conversations going. The thing is, though, I know in my life, I need to once again get out of my comfort zone, do something different, and let others know that no matter what comes your way, you can do whatever you set your mind to. I tell you this story and tell you my struggles to make a point. No matter what blocks come your way, you can overcome them. Sometimes you need to take a walk outside. Honestly, this is what normally helps me figure out the words to come up with. Sometimes you need to talk to friends or family. That too has helped. Other times, well, to be honest, I listen to other podcasts like The Norse Mentality or Pedals of Support as ways to think of how I may be missing something. Ultimately, no matter what I listen to, no matter what I do to get through it, and no matter what you decide to do to open your mind to the possibilities that are in front of you, it comes down to you, just like in my life, it comes down to me. You see, you are the one that needs to do better. You are the one that is consistently getting in your own way. Yes, people may tell you no when you want to do something. People may tell you that you can't do something or achieve something. But by listening to them, you are actively making the choice that you are not good enough. Speaking of that, let me sidetrack this back to a personal touch. You see, I was always told if someone tells you something about yourself, oftentimes, even if it isn't true, you start to believe it. Or if they say you did something but never really did, you eventually do it. Because, well, if you think it's true, then I might as well make it true. Here's the thing, though. You made that choice. You decided that these people were right. You decided to go against what you felt was right to make things other people said valid. You can't be that way, though. If you're honest with yourself, and if people are telling you that you are something that you are not, the worst thing you can do is prove them right. Take it from someone who has done that. I have done things in my life I am not proud of. I have made mistakes that I can never take back. Some of it was because people told me this is who I am. They said I had done these things, so eventually I figured, well, you know what? If you're going to be hell-bent on thinking it's true, I may as well do so. Let me just tell you, it came back to haunt me, and in a big way. That's the thing, though. Once again, I actively made the choice to listen to others. I made the choice to eventually believe something about myself that wasn't true. I allowed others' thoughts to block me from achieving all that I wanted to set out to do. I wanted to have a happy family, and because of my mistakes, it took a while to get there. I wanted to have a successful career, and upon retirement, I was made to feel like it was never going to happen. I wanted and still want to have a successful content creation company. Some have told me it's pointless or just concentrate on your career, but I won't. You see, I believe in what I'm doing and I believe in who I am. And finally, I know what will set me apart from others. So when it comes to you, when it comes to people and things that block you from succeeding in your career, in your life, you can't let others influence how you feel about yourself and your capabilities. You can be good. You can do great things. You can achieve all that you set out to achieve, but you have to believe in yourself. You have to be able to block out everyone and everything that is trying to tear you down. Those that are negative and tear people down usually only do so because they are so unhappy with their own lives. Mental blocks are also times in which we may need some clarity in our lives. As I talked about getting away from whatever you are doing for a while, meditation, hiking, walking, swimming, finding peace are all things that can provide that inner clarity. It is in these situations we should look to unplug and just be one with ourselves. Find that which is stopping you from moving forward with whatever it is you are trying to accomplish. Sometimes it is the negatives in our lives that we have yet to come to terms with. If you're constantly running from your problems or your emotions, it makes it difficult to push forward. You have to be willing to face your fears, attack your problems, and make peace with all of the good and bad you have dealt with in your life. There are many people in this world that don't like to cry. They don't like to show any emotion at all, especially in front of others. But even if it's by yourself in your car or in the woods or even in your bedroom, letting those emotions out, dealing with them, and moving past the situation that caused them can help clear your mind and give you the foresight of what is required to get back to moving forward with your goals, your dreams, and your life. And I have to say that is probably the biggest takeaway from this episode. Stop fighting your negative thoughts and deal with them, own them, and stop letting them control you. Take control of your life, take control of your emotions, and most importantly, take control of the decisions you make. So as we wrap up this episode, I would like to leave you with a little bit of wisdom once again. No one is totally wretched, even if his health is bad. Some find happiness in their children, some in their kin, some in their money, some in work well done. Better to be alive, no matter, than dead. Only the living enjoy anything. I saw a rich man's house, but it was on fire, and he lay dead outside the door. Havamal, stanzas 69 and 70. This has been another episode of Walk With Me, a Cyber Warrior Studios production. If you would like to connect with me on social, you can find Cyber Warrior Studios on all social media platforms. Also, if you would like to support this show, please rate, review, and share this podcast. If you would like to help us grow, our merchandise and support links are in the description of this episode.